Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 4 in our A Journal for a Gentleman series, and this is everything we need to finish this section. I've been busy. Okay, so this is where we left off. This is our front, and I don't know if I showed you, but I added the cards, and here's the card for the center. The belly band is on the side. Then we open it this way. I added a second belly band. And of course, nothing's embellished yet. And we have this, and I added this card that hides, that blends in. Okay, and I added this tag, and I added the tag that goes in here, which looks like I need to trim it just a smidge. And then we're on page 4. And then we're going to do 5, and then we're going to come back. No, 4, 5, 6, and then the base page or the back page. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do next, which is page 4. And we're going to need a Velcro dot on the back, the very back page. Okay, so we're going to be doing page 4. Get all this together. Come on. Okay, and we don't need this right now. This one's going to be nice and easy. This is our paper. I've cut and inked it. I remembered this time. This is one of my favorite pages. It's half of the collage page. And this clock has a lot of extra numbers on it. And we're going to put a crisscross acetate pockets, which I think, yeah, we can do it in one, or with one. So let's go ahead. Now, this is the thicker acetate, so it is you will be able to see it a little bit, and that's fine. I want people to see that there's, crisscross pockets. And then, of course, we'll need 2 large cards for this, which, I'll make off camera. It's very static electric here today. Let's do it this way. I got this out of a notebook. It was a photo album, and so there's little perforations on this side, so that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I want to line this up with the page. Then I want to mark it the exact size of the page. And I made a mark just a smidge wider than what I need because I don't want to have the little red dot on the page. Now I'm going to take this piece, which should be the same size as this. It is. And then we're going to cut it diagonally, which is going to be interesting because you can't really see it. Okay, so now I have the 2 sides. You flip one side over and they crisscross. Now, I don't want the points to go all the way to the top. So I'm going to take them and lay one on top of the other, and then I'm going to flip it this way, and I'm going to cut a little bit off so it's flat on top. Wow, this is kind of sharp. And I flipped them back over so one's facing one way and one's facing the other way. And then I'm going to just glue it on and then glue the other one on. I wonder if I should do the same thing on the bottom. No, I want it to go all the way to the edge. And of course you want to glue it so the flat spot's at the top. And with this particular plastic, if you smudge it around, it pretty much turns invisible, the glue. Okay, let's do the other side. My banged up finger. You're going to be even more careful laying this one down, because you do not want to smear the glue across the other pocket very much. Like I'm doing right now. Okay, so that's all we have to do for this page. Put it in the book. On page 4. Oh. Okay. Glue it in with your little border showing. And then I'll make 2 cards for this. I was going to put another pocket here, but then you would see the glue up in here. Yeah, that's our front one. You could put one that's paper here if you wanted to, but then you would cover up your guys, and that's the whole point of doing the crisscross acetate pockets, is so the pockets themselves are invisible when you take the paper out. Okay, so that's page 4. And then page 5 is back here on the back of the whole front. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. And this is the one that's going to take some time. Let me set my timer. So I want to make sure to keep this right at an hour. Sorry about that. Okay. So now we're going to put 2 envelopes on in the center of the page, like a little waterfall. She says confidently. So let me move everything out of the way here. We're going to have to decide where we want the envelopes to be. So we want them to be like this, and we want them to be right here. And when we put them in, we actually need to put them in this way. Otherwise, we can't put the flaps into the page. So we're going to need to, let's see, we could just do it on the front and then erase our pencil marks. So if we want this one to be here, then it's going to be this slice into the page is going to be right here. And then we want to make the corner so we know where to put the envelope in. Then we need to draw a line, except they're not straight. And we want them about this far apart. We want them right here. So really, this is to determine where we're going to put this one. Then the other one will just measure in. This little image right here is throwing me off. Oh, also, I can't really draw a line in there, can I? Okay. Okay, I want to slice it in on this side, which means I want the envelopes to face this way. Okay, so envelope number 1. Let's see how to get these lined up, because otherwise they're not going to be straight on the page. So we want this one to be here. And then we're just going to draw a line far enough to cover where they overlap underneath. And the same up here. Except for don't draw a line using your fingernail. Okay. So this is where we're going to cut, right here, along this line, for the first flap to go inside. Then we're going to go in, I believe a 1/2 inch would be fine. So we're going to make a mark at 1/2 inch. And then 1/2 inch. We're going to draw a line, and it's not going to be any longer than the one we drew across this way. Why does that not look the same? Because it's not. Yeah, that one was right. Yeah, that's a lot better. This is where we'll cut our second cut for the second envelope. I want to flip it over and make sure the flaps, the cuts are in the right place. So they're going to be right in here, which is where we want. Okay, so I'm going to take our ruler, and I use this called slice. Please don't mention the irony of that. And we're just going to follow the ruler from one line to the next. Make this line a little bit darker down here. I'm having trouble seeing it. No, that will never work. Having trouble holding it as well. Whose crazy idea was this anyway? Anyway, this comes with a little cover. I've gone off the ruler. This is really bad. didn't go through right here where I was holding it with my finger. Okay, let's see if I can do this one better. This one's got a little zigzag in it. But if we need to, we can put some washi right, along the inside edges to cover that up. Anyway, what I was going to say is they come with a cover, but I lost mine. So I actually have to store it with the ceramic blade sticking out. I was going along so well. Yeah, I may have to redo this. Usually I can do it fairly well, but I usually do it off camera. I'm having difficulty holding it just because of my fingers. Looks like I almost would have been better off doing it without the ruler. Alright, let's see how bad this looks. Oh, it looks like I caught the whole thing and pulled it. Let's see. See if I can cover this with washi. And then we just want to put the envelope I'm trying to figure out how this cannot be long enough. There we go. No, it's not long enough. Now, we drew it all the way to the end of the envelope. Oh, it didn't cut all the way through on this one down here. There we go. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. We're not going to leave it in there because we just want to, we're just checking the location of the envelopes. There's another little spot. There we go. Okay. So that goes in like that. This one will go in the other slot. I think I'm gonna That was way too much glue. Okay. So now we're going to pretend like these aren't horrific cuts. I've got some cool washi though. And I think I'll just use this one. And we'll cover that up once we get them put in there. I think this one has too much white in it. It might be too wide. We might have to do this narrower black one. It doesn't want to stick. Anyway, I apologize for the terrible, terrible cutting job. So now we're going to put windows in the envelopes, and I've already shown you in the other video how to use the Big Shot to cut the windows in. So I'm going to put you on pause in the interest of time, and go ahead and put the windows in the envelopes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, we're not. See, that's why my notes. We're going to cover the envelopes first. So one of these is going to have this on it. The other one is going to have this on it on the front. And then these are going to be the two backs of the envelopes. So this is going to be the one that's going to be behind. This is the one that's going to be on the top. So this is going to be our width. And this is going to be our length. And since one's going to be on the front, one's going to be on the back, we can cut the length straight across. Forgot to put these two clear acetate, or clear acetate, well, I guess so, clear acetate pieces with the others. So this is going to be the length for both, and then we're just going to do one at a time for the width. Excuse me. Oh, I know the width on this one. I already measured it. And we'll save this piece for the other one. I think we'll do it with the stripe. Okay, so I'm going to ink these, glue them on, cut the window out, ink it, and put the acetate on, which is exactly what we did in the other video. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold for just a second. Okay, so I've got the fronts glued on and the windows in. Now I used 2 different windows because I knew there's no way I would ever be able to line them up, you know, exactly the same. This one's a little crooked, but, you know, we're not going to mention that. I almost, they go this way, I hope, because otherwise the text is upside down. Yes, they do. Okay, so we need to paper the insides, and we've been doing this on the inside. So we're going to do it again on this one, and then on this one we'll use this little bit of the text part that's left over so that they'll be opposites. Actually, let me see. This scrap would work. I cut it crooked once, so So I had accidentally forgotten that we were going to use the text on the front of this one, which is this page, and yeah, we'll use that in there. So I had to go ahead and set aside this one for the back of one, and then cut another one for the back, and then we just need to cut 2 smaller pieces for the insides. Let me see what I've got. Well, no, I don't want to put text behind that one. Okay, let's just go ahead and go with this. So this can be from here to say there. I'm going to cut the wide part off of the paper. And then let's make it this wide. It doesn't really matter as long as it's big enough to cover where the window is. I forgot to ink one of them, the smaller one, before I had put the acetate on it, and I had to grab, I had to snatch up the acetate really fast and re-glue it so I could ink that little window. And it's a good thing too, because with that black ink, now you could ink it afterwards and then just wipe off the acetate, but you know, why go up to all that trouble? Now this is a little long on this side, but that's okay because we're going to fold this over, and so you won't see it at all. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's fold it over and glue it. put the glue on this part. We did this in the other video, so that's why I'm going through it kind of quick. Well, that and the fact that my finger really hurts after holding that paper down for that, for cutting the blades. Okay. So there's one. We'll do the same for this one. In fact, let's just do this so it looks the same as the other one, or similar. Once we do this, we'll be ready to put them in the little slots. And then I think we're going to have to use washi to cover up my butchered cutting. Be careful you don't get glue on the acetate. You know, you could glue it shut. Silly me. Could have done that on the other one too. Because we're going to now cut this edge off for a pocket. And then we'll ink it again. Cut so little off, it's almost inked. Still. That one pretty much is. I meant to cover the backs first. One of them, this one, needs a magnet. I was about to say, and we're done. The top one should hold the bottom one down. I put my little reminder note on there for the magnet, but it was on the wrong side of the paper because I just wrote it on there so I wouldn't forget to put one in there somewhere. Yeah, this went by quicker than what it takes because I put you on pause. It does take a minute to cut the windows, or, you know, to paper the fronts, cut the windows, ink the windows, put the acetate in, and then come back, and then we covered the insides, and then we cover the backs, and then we put them on the page. So now, if we had had the option to turn the paper this way, then it would have made, you know, writing lines horizontal. But since this is the underside window, you know, it probably wouldn't make any difference. We're going to put pockets and side tucks on them anyway. Okay, so now at this point, they're ready to go on the paper. So you want to do the underside one first. So we're going to slide it in. And then we're going to open it up. Take this off, and then be sure to put glue on top of this sticky. Otherwise, you won't be able to adjust to make sure that you're lined up. Like they say in The King and I, etc., etc. Okay, so that one's in. Now this one is stuck out. Actually, you can't really see where it's crooked. Okay, then we're going to stick this one in. And then don't forget, we have to put the back side of the backside magnet on. And then all we have to do is glue it in the boat. And then we'll have to make cards for them. Okay, I'll just do that off camera. Cards to slide in the slots. Oh yeah, that's gonna work good. I was worried about it. Okay. Yeah, that one doesn't look very good. I don't know if I have thin enough washi to put in there. See, that's what I get for not rubbing the Good Luck Frog ahead of time. And then we ended up with these two nifty cards. Okay. So I'm going to think about it. I'm going to look at the washi that I have and see what I've got. I've got a ton of washi. I mean, a ton. And we'll see. That one spot is kind of iffy looking. The one that I thought was going to be really bad is not. So next time we'll do 6 and the back. And that shouldn't take very long at all. In fact, that's going to be a super short. Let's see. I may have to put it together with making the base to the next section. Good grief. If it was just a little bit less things to do, maybe I'll come back and do something with page 6 different than what I was going to do before. Something that takes more time. Okay. So we got this one done, except for the pockets. And then we got the crisscross acetate pockets done here. Next time we'll do this page and this page. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay. Bye-bye.